Your penance stare doesn't work on me. I have no soul to burn.
Sinister and Scorching Ghost Rider villains explored in detail. In 2007, Ghost Rider hit the big screens, starring fan favorite Nicolas Cage. The verdict was hard to reach, still is it seems, as to how the audience really feels about the film. Many claimed it was a great one-time watch, packing enough action to sit through for almost 2 hours, while others claimed it was a shame on the filmmakers' part to not do justice to the comics that had so much potential. Even today, fans hope to see the franchise make a comeback as a more integral part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Ghost Rider tells the story of stuntman Johnny Blaze, who gets paid a visit by Mephisto, aka the Devil, when he is young. In exchange for a cancer-free life for his father, Blaze offers up his soul, but his father dies soon after in a biking accident anyway.
Forget about family. Forget about love.
Years later, the Devil asks Blaze to do his bidding once again by killing Blackheart and retrieving the contract of San Venganza. The film ends with him riding off on his motorcycle, determined to live a life of a vigilante that protects the innocents from the likes of the Devil.
Your soul is stained by the blood of the innocent.
The jury may still be out on the movie, but when it comes to the Ghost Rider Marvel comic universe, there's been plenty of action, reaction, and soul exchanges to last a lifetime. Today we will explore some of the villains of this franchise that did not fail to leave a mark. Before we go into our list, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click from you, but it means a lot to us. Thank you. Let's begin. The Steel Sisters, Steel Wind and Steel Vengeance. After a near-fatal boat accident, Japanese artist Ruriko Sumura is saved by the Freakmaster, a wealthy man that uses cybernetics to replace her mangled body parts. He consequently mutates her into a superhuman red-eyed ghost rider named Steel Wind. Having done so for his own selfish needs, the Freakmaster sends Steel Wind to wreak havoc and chaos on carnivals, but she soon has to face off against Blaze. Barely able to contain his own newly acquired powers since becoming the Spirit of Vengeance, Blaze turns into the Ghost Rider just as Steel Wind is attacking him with her advanced weapons and combat skills. He rains hellfire on her, killing her. As a result, her sister Sadie Sumura approaches Centurious, a servant of the Devil Mephisto, to ask for Ruriko's return to life. Sadie herself is quite skilled in combat and knows her way around motorcycles. She gives up her soul to Centurious and in the process turns into a cyborg ghost rider named Steel Vengeance herself. Things seem to go okay for a while for the blue-eyed and pink-haired Steel Sister, but when it is time for her to clash with Blaze once again, she fails to murder him, infuriating Centurious, who kills her in revenge. Having appeared for the very first time in Ghost Rider Volume 2, number 75, the Steel Sisters have become one of the Ghost Rider's most famous enemies as they have battled not just Johnny, but others on numerous occasions too. The Witch Woman, a.k.a. Linda Littletrees. First appearing in Marvel Spotlight Volume 1, Number 10, Linda Littletrees is entrapped into selling her soul to Satan and turns into the Witch Woman. Satan, in his attempts to capture the soul of Blaze again, sends the Witch Woman after him, but she fails and Satan makes her own powers turn on herself. He then takes over Linda's life form to defeat Blaze himself. Meanwhile, Linda's father, Snake Dance, and Sam Silvercloud, her fiancé, take on the help of Damon Hellstrom, the Antichrist, to save her, and together with the help of Blaze, Hellstrom succeeds in retrieving Linda's body from hell. One of her abilities is having a solid hold over hellfire manipulation, helping her grow closer to Blaze later as she teaches him how to better control his own powers. Years later, while helping her in a victim situation over the custody of her child with Sam, Blaze learns that she has once again become the Witch Woman. Left with no choice, he uses his powers to stop Linda and turns her into the authorities, who take her away to locations that are still unknown. Linda acts more as an anti-hero than a true villain, as we see her humanity repeatedly interfere with the goals set for her by Mephisto. But even then, she is a tough character who can defeat the Ghost Rider easily. The Darkhold Dwarf. Since the finale of WandaVision, we have been hearing the word Darkhold quite a lot. Agatha Harkness cleared up a lot of confusion regarding what exactly it is, and then we saw Wanda, aka the Scarlet Witch, studying the book as well.
Chapter devoted to you in the Darkhold? That's the Book of the Damned.
Written by Chthon, the god of chaos, the Darkhold was originally written on flesh and came to be called the Book of the Damned. Chthon's purpose for writing this book and leaving it on the earth was to have some sort of hold over the planet even after being banished from it. From the origins of vampirism and lycanthropy to summoning Chthon and other malevolent gods, the Darkhold contains many black magic spells that are so powerful that they corrupt all those who read it, making them possessed by the elder god Chthon himself. The Darkhold Dwarf, appearing first in Darkhold Pages from the Book of Sins No. 1, is an agent of Chthon. He is notorious for stealing pages from this book and sealing them in separate black envelopes to give them to people and corrupt them from time to time. The creepiest feature of this 3-foot 6-inch man, who is well dressed at all times, is the way he approaches those he urges to read from the Darkhold. It is almost as if one's deepest, darkest self has come to life, asking them to give in to their temptations. If we really think about it, it is kind of dicey to say if the Darkhold Dwarf can be labeled a villain, considering how he never really forces anyone to make the choices they do, neither does he hide what they're signing up for. The Orb. There has been more than one orb in the Marvel Comics, and the first one was a regular man who used to wear an eyeball-shaped mask over his head for dramatic effects. His real name was Drake Shannon, and he first appeared in Marvel Team-Up Volume 1, No. 15, where he was the co-owner of the Quinton Carnival where Blaze used to perform. After he dies trying to gain possession of the entire carnival, another orb takes his place, who goes on to become a mercenary serving the angel Zadkiel. The second orb's origins and real identity are unknown till date, but unlike Drake, he is born with an actual giant blue eyeball where his head should have been, which caused his parents to abandon him at birth. Orb is sent on many missions and is unable to fulfill most of them, but on one of them he faces off against the Watcher, an extraterrestrial whose duty it is to watch over the universe, and ends up absorbing its eye in his chest. Given that he had the ability to see into a person's soul, he becomes almost too powerful as he now possesses cosmic abilities as well. The Orb, like the Steel Sisters, is one of the Ghost Rider's most famous enemies, as he is sworn into Zadkiel's task force of Ghost Rider foes.
At a time.
Blackheart!
Blackheart. If we were to rank the villains of the Ghost Rider universe, Blackheart would certainly be sitting in the #1 position, given that he has taken his battle against all things good more seriously than even the devil and his father Mephisto. He is one of the most appropriately named characters in all of Marvel Universe, given how he is born out of brutality, cruelty, murder, and dark energies.
I knew you were here. I could smell your fear.
Mephisto himself trained Blackheart so he could unleash hell on Earth on countless occasions, starting with his first appearance in Daredevil No. 270. And although he started off against this lawyer-turned-town hero, Blackheart truly shined after he started his battle against Ghost Rider.
Looking for someone?
Back to hell.
After many attempts of trying to corrupt heroes like Spider-Man and Daredevil, Blackheart finally found the ones that gave into their temptations: Ghost Rider, the Punisher, and Wolverine.
How does it feel to have all that evil inside of you?
There are some undeniably fascinating elements to Blackheart, apart from his ghoulish dark appearance with quills on his head and a wicked tail. Not only this, but what could be more terrifying than someone thinking that Satan, of all things vile in this world, is too soft? Centurious. After a love affair that died out terribly due to a small tribe's prince having given up his soul to the devil, this man wandered through the planet for many years, losing his humanity over time and coming to be called Centurious, the soulless man. As time passed, the immortal Centurious lost more and more of his memories and even began stealing souls of the innocent out of spite of having his own taken away. The battle between him and Demon Zarathos ensued for a long time, and Centurious emerged the winner with a weak Zarathos trapped inside him. This soulless man, clad in red and showing off long white hair, first appears in Ghost Rider Volume 2, No. 74, and is notorious for running crime rings, bringing together supervillains, and getting pulled into occasional fights with Ghost Riders Blaze, Ketch, and even Steel Wind. But even though he fights against Blaze, his arch-nemesis will always remain Zarathos. Mephisto, a.k.a. the Devil. Although he loves to act like it, Mephisto is not actually the Lucifer we read about in our Bibles, but he is definitely the devil in the Marvel Universe where he feeds on people's need to believe in one true evil.
That was the deal. But I couldn't let him come between us.
This red-skinned demon god with pointy ears and fangs has increasingly become obsessed with tempting people and stealing their souls. Given how old he is, the true story of his origin has been lost over time, but his first appearance was in Silver Surfer Volume 1, Number 3. He possesses powers that are enough to defeat almost anyone, including superhuman speed, strength and stamina, regenerative abilities, magic manipulation, immortality, shape-shifting, and reality manipulation, to say the least.
You're mine, Johnny Blaze.
Mephistopheles is not the only demon figure in Marvel, as is evident by now. Many who live in his realm are demon spawns or soulless bodies and are usually busy causing chaos somewhere or the other.
You don't have any choice.
Though he is one of the major villainous influences in Ghost Rider becoming who he is, Mephisto has over time plagued many other Marvel heroes, like Thor, Doctor Strange, and Scarlet Witch. Some fans think him too cliched a character, but in argument, cliches are that for a reason.
The angel. I can feel him.
Zarathos. Constantly in battle with Mephisto and Centurious and becoming the main component of Blaze's Ghost Rider, Zarathos would rank number 1 in popularity when it comes to Ghost Rider villains. Like Mephisto, Zarathos' origins are also unknown, except for the fact that a priest named Knutu summoned him for the first time. Making his first appearance in Marvel Spotlight number 5, Zarathos went on to become the deadliest of Marvel villains, being the only one who could rival the devil in terms of power. He too can manipulate nature and magic and has insane strength, speed, and durability. Along with this, he can also manipulate hellfire, augment negative energy, teleport, and gain strength from the souls he devours.
A hero convention.
Do you dare face the agony of those you have...
When Mephisto binds Zarathos with Johnny Blaze's mortal body, making him the Ghost Rider, the shift in power between Blaze and Zarathos is constant. The two briefly reach an agreement and combine their power to defeat Mephisto. However, Zarathos is soon trapped inside a relic called the Soul Chamber along with Centurious. When the two escape, Zarathos hatches a plan to take over the planet Earth with Lilith, the mother of demons, once and for all.
This is no game.
But before they can make any moves, they're confronted and defeated by the Midnight Suns, a collection of 9 beings brought together by Doctor Strange that have ties to the occult and work towards the greater good. Death Ninja. Another prime example of great artwork, the Death Ninja is a flaming red zombie from head to toe, with only his white eyes visible through the mask. He first appeared in Ghost Rider Volume 3, Number 3, and used to be one of the pawns of Deathwatch, a demon dedicated to destruction before he is killed, very easily we might add, by Blaze's Ghost Rider. However, he does not stay dead and comes back as a vengeful zombie that goes on a killing spree to catch Blaze's attention. It works as they face off again, and Blaze wins this time as well. The Death Ninja has fought Blaze countless number of times and lost each one, but with every resurrection he gets more spiteful and deadlier than before. The idea behind his character is simple: a loyal soldier that refuses to die a true death until he can bring his master the Ghost Rider he has asked for. But given how he constantly loses, this makes him rank towards the lower side in terms of dangerous villains. Fans of zombie fiction have deeply enjoyed him over the years, and given how he gets stronger each time he returns, maybe one day he might actually defeat Blaze. Vengeance, a.k.a. Kowalski. We know we already said this about Blackheart, but the name Vengeance is literally perfect. First appearing in Ghost Rider Volume 6, Number 21, police officer Kowalski, unaware of the netherworld and the supernatural, faces an unfortunate incident at a cursed highway called Highway 18. Ghost Rider Blaze swoops in at the right time to save Kowalski from a cannibal, and when he tries to stop Kowalski from arresting the cannibal, he gets stabbed by the officer. This causes him to accidentally give Kowalski the penance stare, burning away his soul, and everything that follows is a result of Kowalski's aim to take revenge on the Ghost Rider for ruining his life.
It's him! It's the Ghost Rider!
Archangel Zadkiel gives Kowalski a special gun to kill Blaze at the Quentin Carnival, but he is met there with not one, but two Ghost Riders as Danny Ketch is also present on his motorcycle. Blaze is injured and Danny attacks Kowalski, somehow causing him to absorb some of the Ghost Rider powers, and the next fight between them happens at the Gates of Heaven. There, the two Ghost Riders combine their power and take Kowalski down, after which he is trapped and left there to guard the gates himself. Stephen Lords, a.k.a. Deathwatch. In the mortal world, Stephen Lords was a crime boss that was obsessed with becoming the Kingpin. His most famous scheme involved the use of enough biotoxins to ruin the entirety of New York and New Jersey, and it was Danny Ketch who tried to stop him from succeeding. After a long ensuing battle between the two, Stephen is stabbed by Ketch's mystic chain that seems to have killed him. When Zarathos and Lilith rise, these trans lords wake up as the hellish entity named Deathwatch. Dressed in a red and black costume and mask that covers everything except his eyes, this demon first appears in Ghost Rider Volume 3, Number 1. Despite being an antagonist that most fans love to hate, we have to admit that Deathwatch's powers are pretty cool. Not only is he skilled in martial arts and ninjutsu, Deathwatch also gets more powerful around pain and death as he draws energy from its negativity. Zadkiel. If you are wondering what an angel is doing on a list of villains, let us remind you that Lucifer was once an angel too. And if there is anything we have learned from the CW show Supernatural, it is that angels can sometimes be bigger jerks than some demons. Zadkiel has gray skin, red glowing eyes, and creepy insect-like wings on his shoulders. As much as that may sound like the parademons we see in DC's Justice League, it is best not to confuse the two. He made his first appearance in Ghost Rider Annual Number 2, and what Judas is to Jesus in the Bible, Zadkiel is to Lucifer here. After assisting him in planning a war against heaven, he betrays Lucifer last minute and joins the angels, leading to Lucifer's defeat. Since then, Zadkiel sits waiting and plotting his own coup on heaven so that he may be able to avoid the mistakes Lucifer made and attack better. Danny Ketch unknowingly becomes the pawn Zadkiel uses to burn heaven, but on realizing what he has done, he gets together with Blaze's Ghost Rider and the Antichrist Damon Hellstrom to defeat Zadkiel.
An accident. The Ghost Rider's mission is not with an innocent, but with a savage destroyer.
This Archangel's powers are very similar to Zarathos and Mephisto, and biblical in nature too. He has superhuman strength, speed, stamina and durability, immortality, regenerative abilities, flight, and ability to manipulate magic.
If you guys enjoyed this video, give us a like, subscribe, and press that bell icon that will help you get notifications. We upload an awesome video every day. Have an amazing day ahead and stay safe.
Is how legends are born.